Welcome, everybody. My name is Brian LeBlanc, and this is Where Rebels Are. We're going to talk today a little bit about lottery windfalls. The Mega Millions, as of today, just hit $1.1 billion in the U.S., so it's no longer the Mega Millions. It should be the Mega Billion at this point. But regardless, this is always one of those kind of situations that start to hit the headlines, and everybody starts to daydream about quitting their jobs and what they would do if they came into such a vast amount of money. So having 20 years in finance experience, I want to kind of give a couple of quick pointers on what you should and shouldn't do. So I've got a list for that. And then we're also going to, before getting into that conversation, have a top 10 list that I put together of things that are more likely to happen to you than winning this particular lottery drawing. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and go into it. Top 10 list of things that could happen to you before you probably are going to win this lottery. Number 10. You could be murdered, just outright murdered. That actually in the United States is a 1 in 18,000 chance. That's actually pretty scarily small. I live in a large city, and that means that there's a lot of murders going on around me that I wasn't aware of. Number 9 is going to be becoming a Bitcoin millionaire. But keep in mind that this is a very specific segment of Bitcoin investors. This is 1 in 100,000 if you bought in the last 2 years. It actually improves if you bought Bitcoin 9 years ago to 1 in 1,000. But that is only specifically assuming that you held your Bitcoin from the beginning until the peak. So most favorable market conditions, not necessarily realistic. Number 8 on my list of things that are more likely to happen to you than winning the lottery. You could hit a royal flush in your first hand in poker. That is a 1 in 650,000 chance. So that's better than potentially the odds for the Mega Millions lottery. Next is, believe it or not, conjoined twins. I had no clue. 1 in 200,000 couples, I should say, give birth to conjoined twins. I had no clue that was such a prevalent outcome in childbirthing. To put it in contrast, it's actually only 1 in 250 births that birth regular twins. I like to bring this one up, but number 6 is you could get killed by a cow. According to the population of farmers and ranchers versus the number of cow murders that happen in the world, this is about a 1 in 22 million chance. So I can't leave that one off because I was very happy to find that, because you're more likely to be killed by a cow, believe it or not, than you are by a shark. The next thing, number 5, that could potentially happen to you is you could have your identity stolen. This one's a scary statistic. I did work in finance and security, so I'll tell you right now, you need to get multi-factor authentication for your finance accounts. And for those of you who are gamers, get it on your games that you spend money on as well. But 1 in 15 people, 1 in 1-5, not 15,000, not 1,500, not 15 million. 1 in 15 people have had their identity stolen in some form or another. And believe it or not, about a third of those people don't even know they had their identity stolen. So that's number 5. Number 4. You could become a billionaire if you're in the U.S. Based on our population of people, residents, citizens of the United States, and those that actually hit billionaire status, according to the New York Times in 2014, it was a 1 in 400,000 chance, believe it or not. 410,000 to be more accurate. Number 3. This is everybody's favorite, and you can't ever have a more likely to conversation about the lottery without bringing up getting struck by lightning. You've got a 1 in 1.1 million chance of being struck by lightning, and believe it or not, people who've been struck by lightning, people who get struck twice out of just that demographic are about 1 in 200, oddly enough. So if you get struck by lightning, be cautious because it might happen to you again. Number 2 on the list of top 10 things that are more likely to happen to you than winning this lottery, is you could win an Olympic gold medal. Not necessarily talking about just Olympic participants, but it is a 1 in 660,000 chance for people who are actually athletic. So believe it or not, if you've got some form of athletic talent, you might actually have a shot at becoming an Olympic gold medalist. Number 1, and this is a little bit more odd. This is you could be killed by a vending machine. 1 in 12 million chance of people who actually have a vending machine tip over on them. Since these kind of statistics have come out, believe it or not, they strap them to the wall more often. But still, to this day, I see vending machines that aren't properly secured and are likely to potentially squash somebody. Anyways, the lotto odds, just a quick hit number here. 1 in 290 million chance that you will win the lottery. So very, very low odds there. And all of the things that I just listed are much more likely to happen to you from a lottery perspective. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into the serious point of today's topic that I wanted to talk about. There's a quick list, a hit list that I want to give everybody of do's and don'ts for winning the lottery. I have advised people for portfolios. The only windfall consultation that I actually got to participate in was from somebody who actually owned an oil exploration company, struck oil, and was able to sell the business for $164 million. So that was the biggest windfall story that I had in coaching and advise somebody through the process. But we spent a lot of time in the office talking about different things that we think that people should or shouldn't do when it comes to winning the lottery. Okay, my number 1 don't for winning the lottery: if you happen to win this $1 billion jackpot, do not cash your ticket immediately. Let me say that again. Do not cash your ticket immediately. That is a common mistake for most people. It's understandable. You're going to be incredibly excited that you've won the lottery, and you're gonna be very eager to get your hands on the money. Here's the thing: most people make very bad rash decisions or quick decisions or reacting decisions. You need to give yourself a couple of days to kind of calm down, understand what you are and are not going to do with this money. The next thing is you need to make sure that you understand your state's privacy laws. Here in the United States, there are requirements that the winner or the beneficial owner be publicly listed and identified. And so you want to take steps to be able to protect yourself from that. A couple of things to consider. This is not an all-inclusive list, but you want to make sure that you retain an accountant. Okay. You want to make sure that you retain an attorney. You want to make sure that you attain a tax advisor and or financial planner. You need to build a financial team as soon as possible. And some of the advice that they're likely to give you, the step of registering a trust or an LLC to claim the lottery windfall. The reason is this is that it protects you from personal liability down the road. There's a lot of different things that could happen. Number 2, remember I just said that some states require a publication of the winner, and if you don't want to be hounded by every salesperson for every product that's ever existed, don't put your own name on that claim. Having a trust or an LLC make the claim for you instead helps to maintain some level of privacy. It's not perfect, and it's not perfect in every state, but it is definitely one layer of protection. And this is why you want to retain a financial team. The financial team is going to help you navigate that process. The tax accountant is going to make sure that you do not spend all of your money and then suddenly have a tax bill due at the end of the year. On the tax portion, understand that different states have different tax requirements for the lottery. And then there's a federal tax bill due as well. So you're looking at anywhere from 35 to 49% tax rate on your overall winnings, which means this $1 billion is actually only going to be worth roughly half to you as the winner. So don't be surprised about all of that, and understand that that's the process. Okay. Number 2, don't. For this, very specific, do not quit your job immediately. Okay? Because you don't know how long the payout process is going to take. You don't know how long the financial plan is going to take. You don't know how long it's going to take before you know what you're going to do with the money. The reason why you don't is because most, not all, but most Americans, according to a recent survey, about 59% in the United States are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you are in that bucket and you quit your job immediately and you don't get your lottery payout for a month or 2 months or 3 months, guess what? You're going to be evicted. You're going to miss rent. You're going to have your electricity shut off, your phone shut off, your internet shut off. It's not going to be a pleasant experience waiting for that life-changing money. So don't immediately quit your job. Number 1, do tell one person you trust. Okay, don't go out and tell everybody. This should be, honestly, your significant other, partner, or whatever label you have. If you are in a committed relationship, it should be that person or partner with you. If you don't have that person, then it needs to be a mentor that you genuinely trust. And the reason for telling this one person is because they're going to help you navigate the process and keep your head about you. Obviously, they're going to get excited just as much as you are, probably, especially if you're in that committed relationship. But if you do not share it with somebody, there's going to be a lot of real issues or problems. If you're not in a committed relationship, tell your lawyer. Yes, that's fantastic advice from Twitch chat. So do not broadcast this publicly, because you're going to have relatives come out of the woodworks. I'm your long lost auntie or uncle or nephew or your illegitimate child that you abandoned many years ago. All kinds of wild stories are going to come out, and people are going to try to take advantage of you. One thing about windfalls is anybody who knows windfalls falls into this kind of expectation of you owe me for whatever. And you've got to be very, very cautious about that. So one other thing to say about the do list, do make a plan, okay? This money, if you're not careful, statistically, 1 in 5, that is 20% of windfall makers or winners or recipients, whatever tag you want to put there, 1 in 5 lose all of the money awarded or go bankrupt within the first year. 1 year, 12 months is all it takes some people. I want to be invited to one of those parties, because my gosh, you've got to be blowing money and burning it and all of the other bad things you can do with money to be able to pull that off. And then it gets even worse. 3 in 5 fall into bankruptcy within the first 5 years. Okay, that means that only 2 in 5, or what is that, 40%? Roughly of the entire windfall population actually maintain some semblance of wealth. And that's really important. You just found a statistic, 70% lose it all. Okay, so I'm sorry, 30% are able to retain, not 40. 70% lose it in 5 years. So the reason for that oftentimes is because anybody who's ever gone shopping for big ticket items knows that you get a dopamine hit. Okay, you can become addicted to spending. And the reason why you're going to get addicted to spending is because you don't have a plan. You don't have expectations. Whereas if you take a step back, you do take time to make a plan and have expectations for what you should and shouldn't do with your money, it is going to last much, much longer. Again, the reason why you're building a financial team, your financial planner, can help you with that process. You should, this is one more do, be planning for retirement. If you don't have a plan to put as much of that money into tax-advantaged accounts as you can possibly figure out, you're basically asking for that money to disappear. You should be making plans for this money to last not only the rest of your life, but hopefully be a gift that you can give to your kids or grandkids. Because this is how generational wealth is built But if you want to take the YOLO and just party hardy, guess what? You're going to be back to the grind, and you're going to be that guy who says, I had to go back to work after I took $500 million home. So that's a quick list. Again, this is not meant to be all inclusive. I didn't cover every angle or every aspect, but hopefully this gets some of you guys thinking about what I will do if I make it big, because I went through a list. We're not all going to win the lottery. Like, that's not going to happen. You are probably not going to win the lottery, but this does not mean that you won't ever be faced with a windfall situation in your life. What happens if you're creative and you go viral on the internet and suddenly you're making $20 million a year from Twitch, or, well, not Twitch, YouTube, honestly. I don't think anybody's making that much off of Twitch. What happens if you are ridiculously talented at sports and you get to sign a $20 million contract one day? What happens if you are an artist and your art suddenly becomes wildly valuable or popular? Whether you're a musician or a traditional painter or sculptor, like there's a lot of different avenues where people could find themselves in a windfall situation. It is not just daydreaming about the lottery. You've got other aspirations and dreams for things that could happen. Thank you, chat. We could also end up with an inheritance from a relative you may or may not know is well-to-do. Make sure that you have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you're going to end up in trouble with the IRS, not paying your taxes. You're going to end up giving away all of your money to fraudulent charities. You're going to end up having friends get houses and cars and everything else out of you while your bank account continues to dwindle. So make sure you've got a plan and an understanding that, yes, windfall is a thing that could happen to you. And if you plan for it, you will keep it. If you don't plan for it, it's called windfall for a reason, because it comes quick and it gets blown away just as quick. So there's my video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of that other fun stuff you're supposed to do on YouTube. If you are interested, come join us on Twitch. My name is Brian LeBlanc, and this platform's Where Rebels Are. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. Eastern, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you on the next video.